Well, hello and welcome to Seabass Deceiver. Today we're going to tie a sea bass fly. The fly is my own design, but of course you can fiddle around with it, change some colors if you want to suit your needs. But it's very fast fly to tie, and I'm going to show you how to tie this fly. So follow on with the video. Well, now I'm gonna tell you what materials I've been using in this fly. Well, first of all, I'm gonna show what thread I've been using. I've been using this 0.1 mono thread. It's nice and strong. And the hook is, I'm not quite sure what size the hook is, but that's your choice. But this is an off-brand hook. This is the size I've been using. It's a large gap hook. That's what I'm after. And well, the hook looks like this. G300. I bought it on the internet. Yeah, I've tested it. It's very strong. It don't break, and it's sharp as well. You can see for yourself. It's very sharp. And I use some to support the flash. I use some chartreuse bucktail, and I use this pearl web from Fly Ties Dungeon for the flash, and I use some this is the rest of the dubbing brush I had for the head. It's bait fish blends from Fly Ties Dungeon. I made a brush out of it. Okay, and the ice is 3D ice, size 5 millimeters, in the color gold and black. And the markers I've used is this one, Prismacolor. You don't have to use this one, but you can use any kind of instant markers, of course. And I use some tweezers to squeeze the ice together, and I use some clear lacquer for the thread wrappings in front, of course. And I use this liquid fusion glue all the way on this fly. It's a very nice glue. You don't cure instantly, but it's very strong when it's cured. And to attach the ice to the hook, I use this is the one I'm going to show you. Thermender. Very nice glue to have. It's toxic free. I put that in a little bottle that makes it all easier to apply. And to cover all the ice, I use this Gorilla Glue. If you're an uncertain guy, you can use this just to make certain. But I don't think it's necessary. When Thermender has done its job, it stays there. Okay, that's all I had. Of course, I use some dubbing needle, tweezers, scissors. I use some pliers to snip off the dubbing brush. And I use this pushing tool from Stoneful. You can also use your fingers. Well, that's all I had for a description. So follow on with the tying session. Well, hello, and today we're gonna start and tie this fly. This is a synthetic sea bass streamer. So this is how the finish gonna look. So I'm gonna put this hook aside and start with putting a new hook in the vise. My vise for today is Dyna King indexer. I'm gonna bend a little on this hook to just take off the offset. I don't like that. And starting with putting the thread on the hook shaft, snip off this thing and start with winding downwards, and take my chartreux bucktail and take out a little piece that's gonna support the flash. Put it aside, I don't need that anymore. Measure out, take out the longest fibers, measure out how long I want it, attach it on top like that. And I take a piece of flash, see, moisten it a little bit, take out the stray ones, measure out how long do I want it. About, I think that's about the length I want, and tie it in 60-40 fashion. Put that aside, taper it a little bit, and measure out how long I want it, and put this over itself, and like that. And take your glue, a little dab will do, and take your, well, I'm gonna stuck on this. I take my hank with the synthetic material. This is a curled fiber. I take out a little piece of it like this, about maybe a small pencil thickness, and I measure out how long I want this to be. It's gonna be like that. I taper it a little bit, roll it in my fingers, measure out 60-40 about that, and taper that one too. Maybe it's a bit too long, but well, I can snip off some more. No, like that. Put it on top. Some loose wrappings at first. Try to make it go around the hook. All the materials. Measure out. Yes, it was okay. And take your glue again. Hello, it's me again. Putting on glue again. Well, so now I take my push tool. This is a device from Stonefall. I use it like a push tool because there's a big hole in one end and small in the other. And divide this material, push it backwards over itself, try to make it go around the hook, and reverse tie it like that, and go forwards, take another bunch, another piece of the material, and taper it a little bit, measure out about half the length of the first, second, and last one, sorry. Snip off, taper it a little bit, measure out again. A little bit tidy process this, but when you're done, you will be very happy. Happy guy. Roll around in your fingers like that, measure out, go around the hook shank with these materials, make it go around, check it. No, it's not good enough. I take off some loose wraps. That will do. Measure out again. Now it's okay. Too hard wraps, it will not go around the hook. Well, this is a glue man. I'm the glue man. Well, and distribute this around like this, and take your push tool again and reverse tie it. You see the taper is just coming off nice. And I have some problems with my camera. It stopped for me, so this is my third take for the evening. I hope it's not gonna make some more problems for me. Now I take my homemade dubbing brush. This is all I have left in this color, so I hope everything's turned out right now, and attach it with some securing wraps on the side of the hook. Oh, there it was. My thread broke. Well, isn't that perfect when you're making video? Well, you can't suck it up because this is a mono thread. It's slick like everything. Just have to wait, folks, before I can start tying again. I managed to salvage it because I forgot the golden rule. This end of this dubbing brush is very sharp. I was not aware of where I was at the end of the thread, but now it's securely on my hook, and I start with just preening back the fibers like this, like an ordinary hackle, and get the fibers back, go around, get the fibers back, go around, get the fibers back, go around, and when you reach the hook eye, just take your fingers or your needle, dubbing needle, and try to avoid tying off too many fibers like that, and snip off like this, okay, and take the end of the dubbing brush, point it backwards, and make some wrappings around the end, and make a nice head with this mono thread. I'm not afraid to use it because I have 10,000 meters of it. I buy it in bulk. I'm gonna show you. I have a video on it. Here you have this big piece of mono. So, well, I have a lifetime supply of it. Now I take a whip finish, round, around we go, and then this whip finish is done. Snip off the waist and take your thread away. And before I do anything else, I take a little lacquer, it's water-based, and put it on my thread wraps. They are very slick. This thread is very slick. You can, if you want, you can take some wax on it. You can use wax. Okay. Now To comb it all out, I use this Stone for Patine comb. This is a comb on this end, and this on the other. That I forgot the English name for it. That's how it goes when you're reaching a certain age. You forget things. Well, push these fibers aside, backwards, and you see you have a nice taper. Now it's time to put on some ice. Okay. Well, to put on the ice, I use this glue. It's tear mender. It's very, very strong. The way I do this, to put on the ice, I have my ice clear in hand. This is I think that's about 5 millimeters 3D ice in color gold and black. And I take my tear mender, I put this tear mender onto a bottle like this. That's very nice to apply. Instead of using the large bottle, you can just check if the nozzle is clear. It is. Take this and use a lot of it. Make it soak into the hook shaft in the middle, and do the same on the other side, like that. I put the cap back on. Voila. And you take your dubbing needle, make sure that it's approximately free of glue, and you take your ice one of the time, put it on like that. That's one, and the other one on the other side. And to make this fly, the ice is gonna stay there. Use these tweezers, bend it up, and use your, just squeeze them together a little bit. You know, the glue is gonna squeeze all over, but this glue is dry clear. It's gonna be invisible to the fly. So, like you see, it's not looking like $1 million right now, but when this glue has dried a couple of minutes, you can come on and squeeze a little more, and it will squeeze the ice together and it will be a solid. You don't need anything more glue than this. And I put this fly aside for a moment now, put it onto a magnet. I have some magnet on my desk there, so I take this finished one onto this. You can, if you want, you can take if you're wonder if this you can use a marker on this, you can try with a little piece to make it, see if there is possible to make some markings on this. I have to find a black instant marker here. Where did I put it? I have a lot of things going on right now. I have this black marker here. I'm gonna see if this is possible to do. Put it on my table and just like that. And use your fingers. It stays there. Okay. Now I'm gonna put some markings on this with the instant marker. I'm gonna use the thin one. That's I think that's the most fancy, and use some markings on the sides and on the top of this. always like to put some markings on my fly. I think they look more sexy like this. A little more on the tip. Try to manipulate it a little more without making this all look like. This is free of choice, guys, if you want to put your markings on it, but I like doing this because it makes your fly look a lot more sexy to the fish, and it's nicer to have in your box. Well, what do you think, guys? Please comment if you think this fly is looking alright. It's a very fast tie, because now I use some time with you guys and making the video and all, but when you get a hang of it, you can see that the fly is very fast tie. This material is cheap. I bought it from a vendor in China. You can go around on the internet and find nice materials. Well, and if you want this fly to be a little more consistent, you can take your instant marker and just color off the head, the wrappings, so it don't look, so it looks like a part of the fly, you know? Well, here you have it, folks. That's the Seabass fly I wanted to tie tonight. As you see, the head is very solid now, and try to see if the fly is gonna try to see with this fly I made. It's a bit early yet, but to see, you can take your tweezer and just push on it, wait some minutes. This fly was looking just like this before the glue has dried, and now it looks like this without the marking. I have to put some marking on this, but you see now the eyes is very strong. But for you guys, just to make the video a little longer, I'm gonna take this to cover it all up, try to get all the fuss out of it. This is Gorilla Glue clear, and I'm gonna take a little dab on top of this. That's enough, and use your dubbing needle just to push it around to the edges. But as I said, you don't have to do that. The ice is gonna stay on there. Just to, if you're a tidy guy and you want to be very sure that it's never gonna fall off, you can use this, or you can use UV resin. But this glue is very flexible, it's very strong, you don't smell, you don't get allergic reaction from it, so why don't use this? And the only thing you have to have is a dryer. you put your flies on the dryer and you take some minutes on there, and the thing's gonna be $1 million worth. And just start this dryer and it's gonna wind around. Well, I have to leave this little baby here to dry for some more minutes, and it's all gonna be alright then. I'm gonna squeeze them eyes together, make sure that the ice is gonna stay where it shall be, and that's all for me to say now. Thank you all for watching my video, and thank you all, and bye bye, tight lines, and please subscribe to my channel. It will be very nice to see you guys on the internet. Okay, bye.